Okay, Floyd Rose. First thing, when you're working on a Floyd Rose, once the string tension's off, it wants to sit back right down into the body because of the spring tension in the back, and that can sometimes pull these posts out the body. So prop it up, and you can get proper things for this, but I've stuck under there my fret rocker just because it's a flat piece of metal and protected the bodywork with this. I've taken the strings out, so this is had a load of 3-in-1 and soaked overnight because it was in a bit of a state, but everything's now moving. So your starting point is these are your micro tuners, and you roll them anti-clockwise until they're at the top, and you release these, which moves these little blocks backwards, which is where you're going to wedge the strings in and then tighten them back up. These adjust the intonation, so you unscrew them and you move the saddles backwards and forwards until the intonation is correct. Now, Floyd Rose and a lot of other people put the access to the bowl directly under where the string is, so that makes it really difficult to set the intonation, because every time you tune the string up, you can't get very easily your Allen key in the hole. So these things are a little bit of a nightmare to set up, but once they're set up, you only really need to do it once. It's fine. Customers supplied some Ernie Ball super slinky strings, so that's 9-42s. And another top tip, once you set up your Floyd Rose and you have put a string gauge in it, try to stick to that string gauge the next time, because if you change to heavier or lighter, that adjusts the changes the tension on the springs in the back of the body, and then you've got to do setup almost all over again. So I tend to sort of recommend 9-42s on these. They're a bit lighter. And there we go. So that's a Floyd Rose. Now, the other thing you have to do, which is different to standard guitars, is you have to cut the ball ends off so that you can put the end in the block. So let's get my super sharp wire cutters. I don't know if you can see there's the windings that go around the end that hold the ball on, and you cut the end off so that it's below the winding. There you go. So string in, do the first bit by hand. Gently, you don't have to go super tight or you'll thread it, but it's got to be tight enough. There we go. So first one in. So I'll do all of these one at a time, and then I'll take you through the other end, the nut end, and then we'll start looking at the setup. Right, another little tip: when you get to your top string, highest string, and you've cut your ball end off. Now, sometimes, because it's such a fine string, you get issues with these getting pulled out under pressure. So what you can do is take about 2 centimeters off the end of the string and bend it round, which is a bit fiddly, and quite often you stab yourself with the string, which isn't much fun, but half the job. And then pop it in the hole. Oh, pinned in up. Wind it up, and it gives it the block just a bit more to grab hold of. There you go, top tip. Okay, nut end. So you have to take these blocks off. I've already undone it. I haven't, so I've already undone these screws. So take the locking blocks off. Okay. These out of the way. And then take your first string. And then this part is exactly as per normal. In that case, I'm doing exactly as per normal, he says, and he does it different. So go to the end of the next post, cut the string off. Through the hole. Around the top with the first wind. Finger trouble today. This is a video of how not to do it. There you go. And repeat. But do it better than I did. Okay, all done. Well, not all done. So before you start locking things down and checking things, it's absolutely essential with a locking tuner to stretch the strings first. Otherwise you'll be undoing it and doing it back up and undoing it and doing it back up with new strings because they're stretching so much. So stretch the strings first, which you do like this. Quite a few times. And you can figure out if they've finished stretching by tuning it to pitch and then giving them a tug and then seeing if they stay in pitch. And if they go flat, you've got to keep going. Okay, strings are now all stretched and in pitch. So the next things to do is the neck relief as normal, because now I've got the strings at the right tension. I can adjust the truss rod, make sure the neck is in the right place. Also, if you see this, the bridge is now pointing downwards, which means the springs in the back of the body are too tight, so they need to be relaxed a bit so that this becomes level with the body. Okay, so these are the screws to adjust the tension on the strings. And if you need to put more tension on, you screw them in. And if you need to release it a bit, you screw them out. And on this particular one, I've got to bring them out. So the three-handed jaw. screwdriver in there. Wrong size tip. There we go. So I've unscrewed those a bit. Now, if we look at the bridge, it's still tilted back slightly, but what we've done is we've released tension on the strings. So now I have to retune, and that should lift it up again, hopefully till it's level. And if it isn't, rinse and repeat. Okay, we're in tune. The bridge is level. So next job is string height. So go for your desired settings. I'm going to try and achieve 1.75 millimeters here, and on this side 1.25 or 1.5, and you adjust the string height, this post and this post, and screw it up and down. So you can't do individual heights on a Floyd Rose, you do it at each side. Yeah, there we go. So it's a smidge below 1.5, about 1.75 there, and the bridge is now deep into the body because it was miles high. So next job is to retune, because that will have put you out of tune again. And then check for string buzzing, and then adjust as necessary. Okay, in tune. Just a tweak. Now, intonation, and this is the bit on a Floyd Rose that can quite often make your heart sink. So, open string, E, go to the 12th. When you pluck it, it should be the same, or very, very slightly out. That's fine. So that was all right. Make sure it's in tune. That's in tune. Okay, that's good. That was good. Oh. Let's just get in tune with the open. Oh, man. Oh, yes. So the intonation was set perfectly already. If I had to adjust any of that, these tiny little screws here, and you have to let the string relax, get your Allen key in there, undo it, move this block backwards or forwards, do it back up, check it again. And it's a little bit of guesswork, which is why you can have got as far as this and then have to change it all again. So that is excellent. All I need to do now is adjust the pickup heights, or check them, see if they need adjusting, put the back on, job done. To check the pickup heights, you hold the string down on the last fret, and you're measuring the distance between the bottom of the string and the top of the pickup. And on these particular pickups, I'll be looking at 3.4 millimeters on the bass side and 3 on the treble side. I lied, we're not done at all. So, got to put the locking nut back on. Before we do that, because the nut puts pressure on the strings, it actually increases the pitch. So, what would be shown as an E, it's best to down tune by half a tone, bit less than half a tone. Okay, put these back on. Okay, so do these up. We don't do them mega tight, just sort of finger tight. Otherwise you will strip the thread on this nut. Just like that. There we go. So once they are locked down, do not touch these. Never touch these. If you tighten that, snap your string. All the tuning then is done at the bridge, so I'll show you that. Back to this end. So that's what happens. I didn't lower the string enough. So I'm undoing the nut on the low E and A. Tighten them back up again. There we go, that's what I'm after. And now you turn these down to bring them up to pitch. There we go. But do keep going over it because every string affects every other string. So although you've gone down there and they're all in tune, by the time you get back, this one will probably be out again. Yeah. There you go. And you just keep doing it until they're in tune. And that is the end.